And what we're going to do tonight, very briefly, we're just going to talk about the results of the survey, okay? I've got a sign-in sheet that I'd like everybody to sign in. Certainly, if you choose not to, you don't have to. We'll start it over here, maybe. And also, just real quick, because I want to give you time to do it if you didn't do it. Is there somebody here that wanted to submit a survey and didn't? Because I've got some with me tonight. If anybody wants to do a survey, I can take it with me. Everybody sent one in? Yep. Excellent. Throw that right on the counter for you, if you would. All right, now I'm going to pass around a couple of papers. The first thing I'm going to pass around, and if you would just take one, we'll start that over here. Take one and pass around. It's basically the information for the meeting.
Save me one.
We're going to talk about it anyway. And then the other that I'm going to pass around is the results of the survey. Okay? You were all sent a survey about a month ago. And basically what ended up happening, we sent out 239 surveys, okay, to every delivery in the area. And we received 96 of those back.
96 out of what?
96 out of 239. Okay, less than 50% back. So basically, what was chosen by an overwhelming majority, as you can see from your papers there, we getting the other ones around? Okay. We had 87 people choose, thank you dear, choose realignment of hours. So basically what that says is we had 87 of the 96 people that said, I want to keep my office and I'll go with the realignment of hours. So the office stays here, the services stay here, but there's a reduction in work hours. Okay. Another thing that was on that survey is what would you like to see for the actual hours? And based on what people chose that returned the survey, the potential hours are going to be 7:30 to 11:30. And that entire time the window will be open. Okay? Most people said we'd rather have the hours in the morning versus the afternoon. Now, that being said, we're only talking about window hours. The other thing that's going to happen that's really important is our goal, and it appears everything is as it should be in the Grand Isle office, our goal is to keep our box lobbies open 24 hours. So basically, we're not going to lock our facilities. Okay? That means you can access your boxes at any time.
24 hours a day? Any
day, yes.
And we can drop some mails?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The lobby drop is in the lobby and won't be locked up. Yes. Your Saturday hours, there'll be no change. None of this impacts Saturday. None of this impacts, excuse me, your collection box outside. That will still be collected, the same schedule per day and the same days per week. Okay? Now, what we needed to do in order to come up with when we were going to keep the hours, keep the office open, what hours we were going to use, this office qualified for what we call a 4-hour operation based on an identified workload from historical data. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to take the needs of the community into consideration based on what you said in your surveys that you returned, and also operational needs. And because the collection box here is collected within that time frame, that 7:30 to 11:30 in the morning, we didn't have to actually split the hours. So that's why your window hours are in a 4-hour chunk. A 4-hour operation, actually, the person who's doing that 4-hour operation, which your PMR is going to stay on and do that, they actually will be working 4 hours and 20 minutes per day, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, business as usual. Any questions so far?
Well, outgoing mail, who's going to take care of dispatch in the afternoon? Is it going to leave on the 2:30 truck, or is it going to stay here?
Your mail right now that is put in the collection box is dispatched. It's pulled, what time is your collection box?
2:15.
2:15, okay. So it's pulled at 2:15, there will be no change in that. Obviously, you won't be handing mail over the window for dispatch, because the window will not be open beyond 11:30.
And anything put
And-
in here also?
Anything put in, yeah, anything you drop in there, if there's nobody here to collect that and put it on a truck, it will go the next day. Likewise, if there's any of you that currently get rural delivery out on the street, that's going to be exactly the same as it is now. If your rural carrier now brings your mail back after dispatch is gone, and your dispatch is at what, 2:30? Your rural carrier right now is getting back off the street after 2:30, correct?
No, before,
Rural
this is the
carrier?
rural carrier.
Hi.
Rachel's here.
Nice to meet you, Rachel.
So somebody's gonna pick up the box outside and the collection here when the truck comes in, so if we mail at 2:15, it's still gonna go in the 2:30 truck, is that what you're saying?
In any mail, your collection box is still gonna be tapped the same time it was, okay?
But it,
It's at
not
2:15.
necessarily.
But your mail, your collection box is not 2:15,
Yes.
Weekdays,
Outside.
on Saturday, it's at 11:45.
11:45.
Right, and then what
Okay.
I do on Saturdays, I have to leave everything in that outer little.
Okay, okay. What happens when there is a collection box that's outside of that time we've chosen for the window is that 20 minutes that we told you, that extra 20 minutes that the person is gonna be working, that's not window, the window's not open during that time, that's when that person will hit that collection box.
So then-
Because she's gonna have to come back and hit that collection box, she'll also take this. So you can depend on anything going in here prior to 2:15 will be dispatched the same day.
So somebody will be here at 2:15 to pick up that,
Right.
even though the office closes at 11:30.
The window closes 11:30.
So she'll
Okay.
be here.
Your office isn't gonna close.
Okay, but that 20 minutes she's gonna work, is that after her 4 hours, or is she coming back to take care of the mail that she'll collect at 2?
We have to stay with the collection box times. The collection box times cannot change, and we're trying to the extent possible to have those collected by a postal employee. So what that means is with that extra 20 minutes, okay, you know, she can decide how she wants to work around that 4 hours. That 4 hours is locked in as the window being open. But if she wants to take 5 minutes of that 20 minutes that's not the window time, but she's getting paid for, to open and close around that 4-hour time frame, she can do that. That leaves her 15 minutes to come back and probably close out from working the window in the morning, do her daily paperwork, do her deposit, tap the outside box, tap the inside box, and do her dispatch.
So in other words, you're telling me that she's gonna leave here at 11:30 and be back here at 2 o'clock for the dispatch?
Be back here if the box is 2:15, probably 2:10 to 2:20, 25.
So you guarantee that we're gonna have the dispatch at 2:15?
Guarantee it.
Now, in the
We
morning.
are not changing collection
in the
box
morning-
times.
In the morning, the truck doesn't get here at 7:30 some mornings. Some mornings it's 8:15.
Mm-hmm.
She's done boxing mail at 8:30, 9. So while she's boxing mail, why do you need the window open?
We are going by the scheduled time of the truck.
Because
Is that
because-
always on
because
schedule?
The lobby's always been 8 o'clock, we open the lobby here.
Mm-hmm.
And people come here and they wait for their mail until 8:30 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
So why do we want to open at 7:30? I mean, we lose half an hour basically.
Yeah.
Right, but
There's no sense
again,
for us to come here and stand and say 7:30 and wait.
For the
Maybe-
truck.
And the truck is not even here.
Yeah.
right, but you know when to come in. You're telling me the truck is late, so you already know I'm not
But
going at
she gets-
7:30.
But you're telling us she's got a 4-hour block from 7:30 to 11:30.
Right.
Well, that's not very productive for us, because there's no mail here. There's nothing to do on
So
this.
what time would you normally pick up your mail?
Around 8:30 is when we show up, because that's when the mail is ready to be picked
Then
up.
that's when you should show up. That's certainly well before the 11:30.
Yeah, that's for him. What about somebody else? Somebody just walked in a while ago. Pick up their mail.
Well, she said the lobby will be open
The
24
lobby
hours.
will be
will
open.
But
This is gonna be open 24 hours.
No.
You can get your mail out of your box 24
Okay,
hours.
this is from Monday to Saturday?
This is Monday through Friday.
24 hours.
Saturday. Well, no, this is 7 days a week. We're not gonna lock this. We're not gonna lock it at all.
So I'm concerned about the box outside. If this is open, instead of putting it in the box, you might as well put it in here.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
But,
Remember, Monday through Friday, that box will be tapped. It will not be on Saturday. Saturday, your collection time out there is different.
Yeah.
Saturday, she's gonna stick to the hours she's doing right now. There'll be no change.
but Mrs.
Okay?
Mills.
As far as getting back to what we were talking about with you, there's a rural carrier in here,
Yeah.
okay? We have to go by the scheduled arrival of mail. We don't plan based on the what-ifs, or, okay, it's winter, we're gonna do it differently. You're not gonna be very tolerant if we say, okay, for these months, here's your hours, and for these months, here's your hours. We have to schedule according to operational needs, which is getting the mail up and getting the carrier on the street, and we have to base that on mail arrival schedule. Now, if the mail is late, the mail is late.
But my argument is that right now our office hours are 8 o'clock. And now you're reducing the hours, but you're gonna open earlier when we don't have mail to pick up. So what's the purpose of opening at 7:30 if there's no need for?
Well, there is a need, because again, we're going according to the schedule, and before, what could happen is your PMR could come in and sort mail uninterrupted. And she could get the carrier on the street and she could get the box mail up. But now, because the window is also going to be open, that has to be taken into consideration with the time it's going to take her to process the mail. It's going to take her longer to process the mail because the window's going to be open at the same time, and she's going to be multitasking.
I understand what you're saying, but right now, the lobby opens at 8, the window opens at 8. Right?
Yes, I understand what he's saying.
Lobby
'cause
opens at
the
8,
window
window
does
opens at
open
8 right now.
as well.
She starts at 8, you know.
She doesn't start at 8.
She gets paid from 8 o'clock on, let's put it that way.
She
Right.
just confessed that she comes in early to get a jump on it. We're going to give her that jump. Because we don't want
And how-
anybody working off the
How is it
clock.
decided that we only get a 4-hour window of operation? Now,
As I explained
is it revenue,
before,
or is
it was,
uh,
it's based on two things. Workload, okay, and the people that it takes to do that workload. And that workload is the mail that comes in, the revenue that comes over the window, the traffic in here, the deliveries out on the street, the fact that she even has rural delivery in here, so that's another employee that she supervises. All of that comes into play when determining whether an office was going to be a 2-hour, a 4-hour, or a 6-hour operation under the new post plan. And the post plan came on the heels of the first plan, which was a year ago last July. There was a list, the first of supposedly many, of offices that were going to close, and Grinnell was on that list to just close. That was not well received at all, as you can imagine, and so the Postmaster General, in conjunction with the politicians involved, stepped back and reworked and came up with this post plan.
And so how do we improve to bring us back to 6 hours or an 8-hour office?
The next evaluation on this office will be done in January 2014, and it will be based on fiscal year 2013, which is what we have been in since October 1st. Our year runs from October to the end of September. If at that time the office evaluation goes up, then the office will go to a 6-hour operation. What that looks like, I don't know. I don't know whether that would be instantaneous, or there'd be a zone of tolerance there, or a grace period, if you will. I don't know what that looks like. But how you get it to that point, you know, I mean, it's based on the deliveries, the mail handle, the revenue over the window. It's based on all of those things. So, to answer your question, those would have to increase to the point where it pushes it beyond that threshold of a 4 and into a 6.
And one more question. So flying on the US flag outside, how's that going to be handled? Is that going to be flying all day long, 24 hours with a light on it, or how are you guys going to do this?
The flag, the only way a flag can fly is if it's lit. You know,
Right. No,
at
I
night.
understand that, right.
At night. So the flag will be handled just the way it's handled right now. When we're open, the flag is up, so that she'll still be responsible for putting the flag out in the morning, and taking it down when she's done.
So basically, if flag goes down at 7:30, it goes down at 11:30, is that what you're saying?
Or 2:20,
When she comes to do it.
or 2:20.